to our meeting this morning. Today is July the 29th, 2022. It's 9 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Move on to item 3. Have no notifications of any citizens desiring to be heard at this time. Item 4, consideration of possible action on minutes of July 15th, 2022.
I'll move we approve as presented.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Item 5, receive FY 2022-23 estimate of needs of OSU extension. Ms. Mike? And it's an increase of approximately $20,000 from last time. Okay, we'll consider it.
All that's in payroll or in salary
I'm not sure where it's at.
Yes, it's all in salaries. It would take the Family and Consumer Sciences position to a full-time position. I'm having a really hard time filling it as a 3/4 time.
And what's the extensions? How's the extension feel about going ahead and funding that extra?
That extra, if you guys approve your side, they will approve their side.
No, not our side. Our side, our responsibility is to contract with you guys for services. Okay.
Right.
So explain to me how this is going to help increase our services.
Oh, how it's going to increase your services?
Right.
Well, we will be able to be better as far as getting things done, reaching more of the community. The Family and Consumer Sciences role goes into the schools. They partner with the health department, all of those kinds of things. That person will be able to meet those needs of the community.
That's all I have.
I'll move we approve.
Well, it's not.
Well, to accept, to acknowledge.
Right.
I'll second. The acknowledgement.
So basically, we're just here to receive this.
Right, yeah. I mean, really, you don't even need a motion on that.
That's kind of what I was going with it. Well, there's no action at this time for us, although there's a lot for us to consider.
Right, yeah.
Okay. All right then. Item 6, consideration possible action to approve the FY 22-23 temporary appropriations for OSU Extension Office.
So when I was preparing this, I ran into a little bit of an issue. On July 1st, you had approved $10,000 to go straight to M&O, and that's what we did. However, they only get half of last year's budget, which would have been $7,500, so we kind of overdid that. So in an effort to balance out the temporary of 50% of last year's budget, I reduced the amount going to travel by the $2,500. Does that make sense?
Not really, but okay.
I'm not looking at any numbers.
Okay, so your total M&O budget last year was $15,000. Half of that is $7,500. Temporary appropriations are usually half
50%, okay.
of last year's budget. With the situation, you all just said $10,000 to M&O, and I didn't think about it at the time, and that's where we put it. Well, because that offs the 50% of the total budget, reducing the travel by the 2,500 that went extra into M&O. So that the 50% of last year's budget as a temporary appropriation balances.
That's
That-
I'm tracking.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I understand. We actually overfunded, and now we just.
Based on the
Right.
M&O line, yes.
So you got it corrected on the
On
temporary?
this, yes.
Okay, well, I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
So how much are we approving?
Final column over there.
54,000.
Yes.
And that's half of it,
That's half of last year's budget, total budget.
in the budget.
We actually overfunded the M&O account, but we're giving them half of what they got everything last year.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
It still has to go to the excise board on Tuesday, so
And-
it won't be entered until they.
No, that's okay. Do I need to be here for that?
That's up to you, I mean, I can't tell you. It's just that appropriations have to be approved after here by the excise board. And they meet at 8 AM.
And
Maybe.
I want you to understand that your estimated needs has not been approved yet.
Right,
Okay.
it won't be
All right.
until later, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that decision won't be till later, that's okay.
Okay, on to item 7. Consideration and possible action to receive and approve FY 2021-22 financial statement. And this is the financial statement that the auditors like for us to engage with, right?
This is the email you sent out the other day.
Yes, it reflects the fund balances at June 30th.
So there's just one place for me to sign, if you guys want to look at that. No.
I read it on the email, I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. You got them there? All right, item 8, consideration and possible action on resolution to close public right-of-way and easement located at Homestead at Rogers Ranch Phase 1 in the west half of the northwest quarter of the northeast quarter of section 30, 15 north and 1 west. Would you like to address the board? Thank you, sir.
Paul Fever. What my client is doing here is that they would like to, here in due course, file another plat in this area to do residential subdivision. There are 2 existing plats. They were done in 2009, I believe. There's essentially, it never developed. And so just as part of a getting title cleaned up so that they can prepare to replat it and then sell lots, we need to clean out the portions of the old plat. This one's a little bit unusual in that it's a county plat rather than a municipal plat. But nonetheless, what I would like to request here is phase 2, and would like a approval of a resolution to close the rights of way and easements that are described on the legal descriptions that I've given to you, and go through that in detail if you wish. But it's basically to do some title cleanup efforts. I'm happy to answer any questions about the end.
Is this a section line road? I mean, you call it the county plat.
It was, yeah, the plat was filed through the county, and now he's wanting to vacate the original plat that was filed in 2009 so that they can continue on with their new plat and the future plat. I think it says 68 lots there on the new plat.
So this has to be done by a court action. So this resolution has to be done to vacate the old plat in court. I think that's what he explained to you, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the county has to release the right of ways of the plat so that the court can vacate it.
And these have never been developed, it's just a paper plat as far as what we're asking for here. And then what, if you all are agreeable to approve a resolution, then I will go to district court here in Logan County and get a judicial, it's called a vacation of the old plat. And that will clean things up from a title standpoint that Mike can then get a new plat approved, hopefully, and build a residential subdivision.
Well, look at it.
We'll draft these resolutions.
I say look at it. I'll move with it.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the resolution to close the public right of way on the subject easement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
Was that a voting aye or?
Aye. Correcting a.
That was unanimous. All right, then we'll move on to item 9, consideration of possible action on resolution to close and release public right of way in the easement located at Homestead at Rogers Ranch Phase 2 in the east half of the northwest quarter of the northeast quarter of section 3015 north 1 west. Anything else on that?
No, I'll move with approve it.
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you, sir.
Is an email copy of that suitable? Or do you need me to send you a certified copy?
A certified copy,
Okay.
please.
It'll go out next week?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, item 10, consideration of possible action on FY 2022-2023 detention and transportation contract with Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs.
So this is a contract with the state where they reimburse the sheriff's office, you know, those monthly detention transportation claims that we run
Right.
through here. This is the contract to allow that reimbursement to the sheriff for the transportation.
You guys want to do that?
It sounds like we need to do it if we're
Yeah.
gonna get reimbursed.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second Cody's motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the detention transportation contract with the Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 11, Consideration and possible action on FY 22-23 juvenile detention agreement with the Oklahoma Juvenile Justice Services Incorporated for $40 a day.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Excuse me. Item 12, consideration and possible action on ingress and egress agreement with Robert Hudson, 2817 North, 1 West for clearing of trees.
This is going to be over in my district. This is over off of Anderson, just there south of 33. We've been doing a lot of right-of-way clearing so we can widen that portion of that road. And then, because there's an event center going in there. There's other people trying to get moved in, so we've been going through clearing a lot of trees, and it's been a substantial amount of trees to move. So the landowners have asked for us to, or said that we could put them on their property so that we don't have to haul them back and forth.
Okay, so it's to the benefit of both the county and the landowner, and then I will move we approve this.
I'll second.
Thank you, guys.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. There you go. Item 13, consideration and possible action on approving the following permanent road crossing permits for Cox Communications LLC. Cross parallel east 248, cross parallel East Simmons 1.83 miles east of I-35, cross parallel East Simmons 1.3 miles west of I-35.
I know I beat this course several times, but is Cox Communication a public utility?
Yes, they are.
So why is it, if they have every right to our right of ways as we do, why do they do this?
I think it's a notification thing as well.
Well, to kind of dogpile onto that, what happens if they don't bury them deep enough?
Well, I can tell you what they did to me. They charged me $10,000 for cutting one of their lines.
That's kind of where I'm going with this. I mean, we've hit gas lines that are like 3 inches under the road depth. I mean, all these
Phone lines,
all
gas
these
lines,
utilities are just crazy the way they put them in, and
water lines.
didn't want to sue the county for destruction of the utility.
Well, we cut a phone line the other day, and we called in a locate on it, and they wouldn't locate it because there's too much brush in there. They want us to clean the brush out so they can locate the line. Well, when we clean the brush out, we cut the line. So, it's plain out.
And then whenever you cut the line, they just run a temporary line on top of the grass, so the next time you go through and mow it, you cut it again.
Then you got 2 guys out there with pliers and cutting torch trying to get that out of your mower. This conversation.
I get it. Okay, so where were we on this?
I guess you're waiting on a motion. I'll move we approve, but I don't like it.
I'll second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second to approve, and I don't like it either. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
I have nothing for items 14 and 15.
These down here right quick.
about these. They're in District 2, so.
I just didn't want to sign that.
You know, on the Cox communication line that we cut, they laid it right on top of one of our tin horns. And so we was trying to replace the tin horn. I just, if they would follow the rules and put them up by the fence where they should be,
Right.
and as deep as they should be, it probably wouldn't be an issue.
Oh, I see the new fiber optic, the internet going in right now, and it's,
So they're 14 to 15 now?
they're putting it up on the poles.
Yeah.
Okay, item 16, consideration possible action on consent agenda. Curious. Am I the only one required to do it the right way?
No.
Okay. But I didn't sign it. I signed it once. Shouldn't have signed these twice.
Different Different hat.
Should only have to wear one hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I?
Sure.
Do I get to choose?
Sure. Chris, you're awfully quiet this morning.
Yeah.
That was a positive.
What's that?
That was a positive as well right there.
Yeah.
Long night.
Yeah. saw that.
It was muted, it didn't make any noise.
I heard it rattle. Saw it shake.
Noise is the issue.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can't change rules now.
It was noisy. Did you hear her phone ring? You heard her phone ring?
No, I didn't.
No, sir, I did not.
There you go.
Help the brother out.
Man,
I know, threw me right under the bus.
I'm better than Fauci.
And that was just notification, it really did ring just a little while ago. There was no noise.
I heard it rattle.
No sound.
Selected here.
All three of these deputies being paid out of the treasurer's account.
They're paid out of reset.
That's what I was asking. And so all three of them work for the treasurer on reset,
She has the resale fund,
right?
yes. So resale's a year-round thing, it's not.
I get it.
Okay.
So we've got 3 employees we're paying, 3 deputies we're paying out of that account, from that account. This, I guess where I'm going with this, to chase that rabbit down the hole, is to take 3 to do that job.
Well, I think Sherry'd probably be the best one to answer that, but, I mean, there's 5 total people in her office that do, they all work on what the treasurer does, resale being a part of that. County general pays for 2, and resale pays for 3.
Okay, so I guess, I only recognize one of them as being a deputy, is that?
Okay, but this isn't sheriff's deputy type deputy, all of our employees are.
This is a Jordan, yeah,
Jordan
Jordan?
is the tax warrant deputy, yes, but, you know, even my staff is a deputy county clerk, so they're deputy treasurers. These 2 are not
We're swapping,
sheriff's deputy type deputies.
we're swapping definitions right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm looking at is how many,
One works.
how many badge-toting, gun-toting
One.
deputies do we
Jordan.
have to get paid? Okay, cool, I'm fine, that's what I wanted to know, thank you. Yes, thank you,
Administrative deputy, the other 2.
yes.
Transfers.
What? I miss one?
Sir.
Oh, sure. M&O expenses. Here.
question more?
I think there's just one on that one. Pardon. And look, if you got a problem with it, let me know. I can scratch the signature off that.
Yeah, that's the one that gets us money back.
Yeah.
I just was, if you got a problem with it, let me know.
Blanket.
So the state reimburses their pay,
A
a
part.
portion of it.
Alcoholic beverage tax.
Drum roll, please.
23.4.
Is that total?
Total, yeah.
That's pretty close, 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah, the big town of Guthrie represented $17,574.65 there.
Meridian?
Meridian, did they even make, come on. They almost, did $22.89. Is there a grocery store somewhere that sells
I
beer?
think they have to spread it out.
That's not calculated that way.
Oh, okay.
It's calculated like your highway where it all goes to a pot and then with an equation is dispersed to
I
municipalities.
see. So there are dry parts of the county that are getting this right.
Very dry.
It's very dry.
So, where's the good beer in Meridian, Oklahoma?
I don't think you get
Be
water.
surprised.
Includes consent agenda.
Somebody's backyard in the woods, maybe.
They're not
I'm not gonna
anymore.
approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 15, consideration of possible action on claims for payment for July 2022. So, is this where we get to sign here and not this all the time?
No, you have to sign
We
these.
still gotta sign these again?
Look, you didn't have to sign all those.
I will keep trying for the next 5 minutes.
Those ones will always have to be signed because they're out of context. But that stack as opposed to what every one of those in the report.
You're trying to make me feel better, aren't you?
No, yes, that's just
Okay.
one of those hats.
So, Chris, do you remember as a young person, Channel 5 had this afternoon show on Ho-Ho the Clown.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
You remember his dog? Remember the dog?
But yeah.
The pug, think looking
Pug,
thing. It's
yeah.
the ugliest dog I believe I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. But anyway, so Ho-Ho the Clown. And that just kind of popped up in my head the other day when we were talking about back in the olden days and
Yeah.
things like Foreman Scotty. But most people don't remember that because a lot of people aren't from around here. You know, they didn't really grow up
Yeah.
in Oklahoma back in those days.
I remember Bozo better on WGN in the morning.
Bozo, that's Chicago, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
WGN.
Yeah. We didn't watch no Chicago TV in my part of the world.
That was my Cubs channel, so it was on quite a bit.
Ah, Cubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a Channel 5 studio in Enid, America, back in the mid 50s, early 60s.
Like a substation, satellite station?
They had a broadcast studio.
Oh, broadcast.
Yeah. And that's when, you know, they were broadcasting all over the state of Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
All three metro areas, Enid, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. Because those were the big three back then. Now, Enid's not even in the
No. I still like Enid, though.
Sir?
I still like Enid.
Yeah, it's a cool little community.
I guess Lawton would probably be that third one now.
Lawton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Us guys that spend a lot of time in the military don't really dig military towns.
Yeah.
too much.
Just, I guess Ada could be the other part too. Just trying to mix things up.
Well, as a matter of fact, that's where Hobo the Clan was from, Ada. Ada, America. Okay, item, so that'll do
We need action.
claims.
Make a motion to approve claims.
I will second. Have a motion and a second to approve claims. Any further discussion? What go? You get finished?
This last one, I'm good with it.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 16, consideration of possible action on purchase card payments for July 2022. In the amount of $1,407.35. I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. And item 17, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners or other county officers and department heads. Stephen?
I have nothing except for I'm glad we're getting a little rain.
Yes, yes. Where were we on the fire?
Well, we probably, I know the fire chiefs have started to talk about doing a burn ban, but
Right.
with the rain that we got, it'll probably cancel it out for a couple weeks. Because I know after this little bit of rain, we're supposed to be back up in the triple digits again, so.
Okay.
So that takes us out of the qualifications for the state standard for fire department.
Yeah. So,
Even though some of, parts of our county still hasn't
right.
received hardly anything, so we got a lot of people asking for it.
You gotta meet the qualifications.
Yep.
Okay. Troy, anything from the sheriff's office you'd like to?
We had 2 new hires that started in our detention center, which we're really excited about. But outside of that, things are really smooth. As far as operations at the sheriff's office, we did lose a hero to the community last night, so just keep everybody in their prayers.
All right, thank you, sir.
I have a good note from the extension office. It took 15 kids to round up this week, and we left with 8 total award winners from the state.
All right, thank you. Ma'am?
No.
Molly?
I don't have anything at this time.
Same.
All right. I'm gonna let that go as well. Item 18, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
Move with,
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.